All right, so here's the first meal idea. So for this dinner, we're having pasta with Caesar salad and garlic bread, and it is suited for multiple different tastes, and it is all plastic free. So I will go through and show you everything that we're having. So first off, the meat for it is this Italian sausage, and this is produced locally. So I get this at the butcher shop, and it's zero waste because it's wrapped in butcher paper, which I can compost, or if it's double wrapped, I can save the outer wrap. This one's wet, so I probably won't do that. But, excuse me, I have this as the meat. Adds a lot of flavor. Steve and I are gonna have spaghetti squash instead of regular pasta. I might have a little bit of the pasta if there's enough, but he does not really like spaghetti noodles, so we're going to do that. Alternatively, sometimes I make it with penne because he does like that. There's a bit of spaghetti in here, should be enough for the kids to eat. I've got some Parmesan cheese and some nutritional yeast. I'm probably the only one who's going to try this. The others will probably just have this, but I bought this at Bulk Barn, my own container. As you can see from the sticker, that's for the weight when you bring it in. We've got some organic tomato basil sauce in a glass jar. I've got some balsamic vinegar and avocado oil, and that is to marinate this eggplant. I'm going to slice it up, brush it with the balsamic and avocado oil. I think I'm out of olive oil, so we're going to use avocado. I'm going to slice this up, brush it with that mixture, and broil it. And so I'll have a bit of this and a bit of Italian sausage, but I like to eat less meat if I can, just to, reduce your impact. And then we're going to have some salad. So whenever I make Caesar salad, I use romaine, which I buy in my own bag. I cut up cucumber with it, and I put sunflower seeds with it because Carter will not eat meat at all. And so sunflower seeds are a good source of protein. They add a nice crunch. It's a lot healthier than Caesar salad, oh my gosh, I can't talk today. It's a lot healthier than croutons, less carbs and stuff. And so I add those for crunch. And then we're going to use the Caesar dressing that's in a glass jar. Isla doesn't really like the sunflower seeds, but I will construct everyone's salad separately. Then we're going to have some garlic bread, so we'll probably use half of this crusty loaf. Comes in paper from Walmart that you can recycle or compost. I'm going to mix some garlic powder with some butter, which comes wrapped in foil that I can recycle. And I'm going to mix Herbes du Provence, which I got at Winners for $3.99, which is a great deal. If you're not familiar with Herbes du Provence, it's a lot like Italian seasoning, but it has lavender in it. It's really nice and mild and flavorful. And yeah, garlic powder. And make some garlic bread. So half of this will be for dinner tonight. And I'll freeze the other half, and the other half will be for probably dinner next week when I make pasta again. And I think I'm probably just going to use one half of the spaghetti squash. I cooked this in the microwave just to speed things up. I'm going to remove it and then mix it with the sauce and the Italian sausage and stuff. And then the other half will probably be for when I make chicken and mushroom fettuccine. So yeah, I will show you everyone's plates when they are constructed. And in case you're wondering how I make garlic bread without foil, I use one of these vintage Pyrex pans, and it doesn't have the butter and stuff on it yet, but it will. And I just take this lid, put it on top. You can find these at secondhand stores or antique shops, but it's nice that they have a lid because that seals in the heat and gives you the same sort of effect as using foil. You could also probably just use a regular baking dish and just put a sheet pan on top of it, and that would seal in the heat as well. It's another option. All right, so there's the spaghetti squash. I also mixed in some tomato, and then it's got the sauce and the Italian sausage. There's garlic bread and the salad. Noah's having a little bit of the pasta and some of the spaghetti squash with sauce and stuff, a few pieces of the eggplant, and some salad and garlic bread. Carter's plain noodles, garlic bread, no dressing on a salad. Isla has dressing on hers. She's got some Italian sausage, some pasta with just sauce, and garlic bread. Oh, and there's the eggplant.
I'm eating everything else but the tops.
Okay, so our next zero waste dinner that we're having tonight is burgers and fries. So I mixed up some black bean burger patty mix and some beef. So this came out of a can, and then the beef was bought and wrapped in paper from the butcher. It's local beef. And I seasoned it with garlic powder and onion powder, which both came in glass. And I also added a couple tablespoons of Epicure burger seasoning mix, which is packaged in glass. This is the recipe that I roughly followed, although I didn't have any flat leaf parsley. for the bean burgers, so I just added everything else. And then cut up a sweet potato into pieces. My mandolin wasn't strong enough to cut it into French fry looking pieces, so I just did this. I'm soaking it in water to remove some of the starch. And I have some yellow potatoes I'm soaking in water for the same reason. I'll fry both of these in the air fryer. And then buns that I bought in my own bake. And then I'll show you toppings and stuff once everything is ready. Okay, so there's how the burger patties turned out. They're all ready to fry in the pan. Alright, so there is everything ready to go. For toppings, we've got some mayo, Dijon, and ketchup, all in glass. Got this at Winners, Superstore, and actually Dollarama is where I got this Dijon. I don't like this mayo. I wish I'd bought a small thing of it to try. It tastes kind of soyish to me. I don't know why. I need to find a mayo that tastes good that comes in glass. I was thinking actually maybe Vegenaise, because I used to like Vegenaise when I was a vegan, and I found it tasted totally fine. Didn't taste like soy or anything like that. So I'm gonna try that again, I think. There's our toppings, so lettuce that I bought in my own bag, tomatoes in my own bag, pickles from glass, and then cheese. So I always buy my cheese in bulk because it is the same amount of plastic as if I were to buy it at the deli counter and just get them to put the slices into my own container. So I buy a big one, it lasts us like a month, and it's way, way, way less plastic than getting a small one. But feel free to skip the cheese. Here's my black bean burgers, and the kids, the little sliders. Noah's gonna have one. I will have two. I'll have a black bean burger. I'll make Steve a regular burger when he gets home. There's our buns. There's fries that Carter's gonna have, made in the air fryer from yellow potatoes. And then in the oven, we have the yam fries, which are almost done. So Carter will try a couple of those, and then Noah and Isla will have some too. All right, I'll show you our plates in a minute.
Been barfing for 24 hours.
So tonight we're making vegan lentil shepherd's pie, and I might actually make it vegetarian for some, so I might put some cheese on some of it, but either way, the base of this is vegan, although actually it's not, because I'm using beef broth. If you were to use vegetable broth, then it would be vegan, but I don't have any vegetable broth, so I'm just using what I have. If you pretend that's vegetable broth, then this would be a vegan recipe. So you're gonna start with mushrooms, onion, and garlic. So mince the garlic, chop or finely dice the onion, and slice the mushrooms. And you're going to cook these two together in a bit of earth balance, margarine or butter or oil or whatever you want to use, and then cook up the mushrooms. Peel and dice the carrot and cook that in there too. And then you're gonna add in your can of lentils after draining them. And then you're gonna pour in about 2 cups of beef broth. I think this one I'm gonna use. Might use slightly more, we'll see. And season to your liking. So I'm using some garlic. I like lots of garlic, so I have both. Herb du Provence, I love this one. And then some vegetable seasoning, which is kind of a random seasoning rub, but it looks pretty good. Not zooming in. Where's the ingredients on this? Oh, there they are. Sea salt, brown sugar, roasted garlic, and a few other things. These are mostly cooked. Now I'm going to add in the lentils and then the broth with the seasoning. So don't mind the steam, it's from the potatoes, but this is about the thickness that you want your filling to be. And I've already spooned some into a pan, so I'll be making 2 pans. I just added in butter, milk, and salt, and some pickle juice. So I'm going to top these, and then a couple of them I'm going to add cheese to. And I think just 1/2 I'm going to leave without. There's how it turned out. Okay, so for this meal I just made a sausage sheet pan dinner. So I used sausage that I bought from our local butcher, so it's raised here on the island. And I added carrots and broccoli and a few other veggies, and made some rice for Isla, and I left hers without seasoning because I knew she preferred it that way. So here's my plate. I have all the veggies and the sausage, and Noah has the same, and the kids just have veggies and rice. The last family-friendly, zero-waste meal idea that I have is chicken and waffles. So you just start with a batch of waffles, whatever recipe you want to use. I use one from the old school Company's Coming Kids cookbook. Got that sitting waiting, and I have some chicken breast defrosted, boneless, skinless. And I got this from a butcher shop that only sells meat that they produce themselves on the island. Actually here right in town in Duncan. So that's where that comes from. It's wrapped in paper. And I'm mixing up some seasoned flours. This is just flour, paprika, garlic, pepper, and salt. And I just added liberal amounts of each of those. So I'm gonna take the chicken and slice it up and rinse it under water just to make the flour stick. I'm gonna dredge it in the flour and I'm gonna fry it in a little bit of olive oil. I just kind of cover the bottom of the pan. I don't fill it halfway or anything like that. I don't want to waste the oil. So I'm gonna fry the chicken and make the waffles, and then I'll show you what our plates look like when we're done, or when I'm done. All right, so there's Noah's. He's got some chicken, waffles, and fruit. Mine. So I have half a waffle with whole pieces of the chicken, and I made a spicy maple syrup with just buffalo hot sauce and maple syrup, and put that over top and some green onions. So tonight we are making chicken burrito bowls. We're going to be using some spices that come in glass, chicken that came in paper, cheese I bought in bulk, so it's a huge log thing, not a lot of plastic waste, cilantro, corn, lettuce, tomato, avocado, lime. Normally I would make guacamole and salsa, but I'm just not in the mood to make it. Just going to put some ranch on that, and I have rice cooking. I buy my rice in my own container. So yeah, I'll show you what the bowls look like when they're assembled. Okay, so there's mine. I've got everything on it and ranch. There's Isla's. She has her avocado and tomato with the ranch and lettuce. There's her chicken and cheese. And then she has a chunk of corn and some rice. And here's Carter's. He won't eat meat or cheese or anything like that. We're out of black beans, otherwise we would have had that with this. He's gonna have some sunflower seeds instead. The last zero waste meal idea is going to be this pulled pork. So I got a pork butt from the butcher wrapped in paper, and so I stuck that in there with half an onion cut up and about half a bottle of this barbecue sauce, which came in glass. We got buns from the bulk section of the bakery at Superstore in my own bag. And then I made coleslaw. I just shredded half a head of cabbage on a cheese grater, and I made a dressing with white vinegar, some of this seriously good mayo, so these both came in glass, and some salt and pepper, and a little bit of sugar. And the sugar I bought in my own container too, and that's the cabbage, or the other half of the cabbage I used. So I'm just gonna assemble a sandwich, and there it is. Nice summery dinner. Okay, so this meal is a chicken cashew stir fry. It has lots of veggies. There's 3 different colors of peppers and carrots and broccoli. And then I also am using chicken that I bought wrapped in paper at the butcher's. Carter won't eat chicken, so he's going to have cashews. I bought these at Bulk Barn. The sauce is made using the Epicure teriyaki seasoning, which is now discontinued. But I'm just going to follow the directions that are on the back here. So I'm out of brown sugar, but I'm going to use honey. It tastes the same, really. And instead of using orange juice, I just use orange essential oil and water instead, and it tastes fine. So there's the soy sauce and everything for that. And then I bought rice in cardboard. And so here's the kids' plates. They don't have sauce, but they have everything else. And here's mine. So I did include teriyaki sauce on mine and some chili flakes for spice.